This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutastrophe, and welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And our birthday boy for today, May the 11th, is a quarterback who's still in the league. He's a free agent, technically. He is the NFL all-time leader in quarterback rushing touchdowns and second in rushing yards by a quarterback. He actually started his college football career in Florida before joining Auburn, winning the Heisman and BCS National Championship game as a junior. And then decided to go into the NFL draft, and he was named the number one pick in the 2011 NFL draft. And he made an impact. Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he was just fantastic, helping Carolina get out of their doldrums and into a powerful job in the middle of the 2000s. Anyway, he's one of 4 African-American quarterbacks to win an NFL MVP, and the first to solely receive it. The other 3 were tied. Was the first to solely. That's kind of weird. But anyway, his MVP career, Newton would have injuries and didn't do well for Carolina. He was released by the Panthers, and New England needed a quarterback, so they signed him, and then he went back to Carolina, but has not resigned. So anyway, all about Cam Newton. His father, Cecil Newton Sr., it was a safety for the 83 Cowboys and 84 Bills. His older brother was a center who played for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So anyway, Cam Newton has a degree from Auburn in sociology. He had a lot of scholarship offers to IA schools. Florida, Georgia, Maryland, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, and VTech wanted him. But he committed to Florida. And he played for Florida in 07 and 08. He was actually the backup to Tim Tebow in the 07 season, in which they basically... I think they shit the bed and lost the BCS title game. All that. Anyway, Newton would play in the season opener against Hawaii, but he had an ankle injury and took a redshirt season. Unfortunately, he was arrested for felony charges at Berkeley, larceny, and obstruction of justice on an accusation that he stole a laptop from another UFF student. He was suspended from the team and all that. And they tracked the stolen laptop to the athlete and all that. Newton said he decided to transfer and all that. So he basically said he would transfer from Florida just days before Florida would beat Oklahoma for the national title. But unfortunately, Newton did face potential expulsion from the University of Florida because of academic dishonesty. All that. So he went to JUCO, or junior college, and helped Lynn College in Texas win the National Football Championship, like for junior colleges. However, he was still to be recruited. During Newton's recruitment, Oklahoma, Mississippi, and Auburn wanted him, so he went to Auburn instead. So he helped Auburn out and looked pretty good and all of that. He helped Auburn out, getting the first BCS #1 ranking and all that. Auburn was undefeated after beating South Carolina in the SEC title game, and he won the Heisman in 2010, which was amazing after 1 year in junior college, becoming the 3rd Auburn Tiger to do so, behind Pat Sullivan and Bo Jackson. Auburn would face Oregon in the national title game from Arizona. Auburn won 22-19. And nearly blew it, but they got the ball back. He drove the Tigers down the field with Wes Byram kicking a last-second field goal. So anyway, Newton decided to forego his senior campaign and do the NFL draft and all that. However, there was one problem, though. There were rumors that his father, Cecil, wanted substantial sums of money for a son playing for a major college team. Mississippi State allegedly were targeted by Cecil, basically saying that, he wanted between $100,000 and $180,000, all that. Auburn was not involved in the scheme, and Cam was allowed to play. All that. Auburn did declare Cam Newton ineligible after the NCAA found evidence that Cecil solicited Mississippi State for a lot of money and all that. But Cam was not aware of his father's illegal activity, so basically he was allowed to play for Auburn. All that. Anyway, there was a lot of problems and all that. I don't know why he would do such a thing like that. By his father's love, it didn't work out. Newton was picked first overall in the 2011 draft by the Carolina Panthers, becoming the first Heisman Trophy winner to go number one since Carson Palmer in 2003, and was Auburn's fourth player to be picked number one. Tucker Frederickson in 1965, Bo Jackson in 1986 at Buddy'sburg, Tampa, and Andre Bruce 1988. Remember that bust by Atlanta? Anyway, he was hoping all that. Anyway, didn't matter. Newton would sign a 4-year deal with Carolina. Carolina gave him number one, and he tried his best to get the number 2 jersey, which Jimmy Clausen had, but he couldn't negotiate. But it didn't matter in the first place. I mean, he was the Panthers' starting quarterback ahead of Clausen in the first place, so he did fantastic, having 422 passing yards, even though they lost to Arizona. But it was the rookie record for most passing yards on opening day. And then Newton would do 432 yards the next game against Green Bay. So anyway, he was named the Rookie of the Year, the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And he helped Carolina out. He would have an injury-plagued season in 2014 and lost the divisional round to Seattle. However, the 2015-16 season was different. After a 5-year, $103 million contract extension, Newton looked good and all that. Carolina would go 15-1, which is amazing and all that. Carolina was 14-0, but they lost to Atlanta at the Georgia Dome. So that wasn't good. But the Panthers still won 15 games, which was great. They beat Seattle in the divisional round. They were up 31-0 and nearly choked it. But thankfully they won 31-24. And then crushed Arizona in defiant powder 49-15 in the NFC title game to face the Broncos in Super Bowl 50. And it looked like Carolina was going to crush the hopes and dreams of Denver. Well, he was the second African-American quarterback to receive the honor after Steve McNair did in 2003. But McNair shared with Peyton Manning. So anywho, in Super Bowl 50, Carolina lost 24-10. Unfortunately, Newton was sacked 6 times. And it didn't look good for him. After that, Carolina tried their best, but he just couldn't do anything. Newton had injury problems in 2019, and Carolina said they would give Newton permission to seek a trade, but they decided to release him. And then in July 2020, the Patriots needed a quarterback because Tom Brady left. So anyway, he got a $1 million contract. Newton was basically the successor to Tom Brady, who left New England for Tampa. So he was the primary starter ahead of Brian Hoyer and Jarrett Stidham. In his first career start, Newton helped the Pats beat the Dolphins 21-11. And in week 2, Newton tried to get the Patriots the winning touchdown on Sunday Night Football against the Seahawks, but they failed, losing the game 35-30. Newton would have to test test positive for COVID-19 before week 4. So he missed out. However, Newton felt like he was the Newton of old, in a sense. He had 12 quarterback rushing touchdowns, the second highest in history, behind his own mark of 14 in 2011. Unfortunately, though, he only threw for 8 touchdowns, which wasn't good. Newton was signed to a 1-year deal worth up to $13.6 million in March 2021. He would compete with Mac Jones for the starting job. All that. He had to have an appointment outside the New England area, but he had to be away from the team facility for 5 days. Newton was released during final roster cuts. Carolina had some issues. So anyway, Newton would sign a 1-year deal worth $10 million to come back to Carolina after Sam Darnold went down with injury yet again. Newton would be the backup to P.J. Walker, though. However, he helped Carolina beat Arizona 34-10. He looked good in all that. He played 8 games, threw for 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Like I said, he's a free agent. He did not win a game with Carolina in his starts. So he's 75, 68, and 1 as a quarterback. 194 touchdowns, 123 interceptions. He had that one good year in 2015, but Carolina couldn't get into the Super Bowl. Couldn't win the Super Bowl. He only won 3 postseason games in his career. So anyway, yeah. NFL MVP in 2015. All rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. He has rookie records: most combined touchdowns, running and passing for rookie in history, 35. Most combined yards for rookie in history, 4,700 plus. First rookie to throw for 4,000 yards. And the first rookie in NFL history to pass for 400 yards in back-to-back games. But that was beaten by Andrew Luck. So he has the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback in NFL history with 75. He has the most passing yards by a quarterback in his first 2 games, 854 yards. Still a record to this day. Most games in NFL history with a rushing and passing touchdown in the same day, 32. Most games in single season with a passing and rushing touchdown, 8. Most rushing touchdowns in a single season by a quarterback, 14. First quarterback to be Offensive Rookie of the Year and MVP at some point in his career. Fastest player to throw for 1,000 yards. That was in 3 games. Yeah, a lot of people. Most touchdown passes from a player from Auburn. First starting quarterback to win the NFC South in consecutive seasons. Really? Yeah. So he has lots of Carolina records too. He has 4 children with his former girlfriend. And then Newton would father a son with an Instagram model. Cam Newton is a vegan and all that. And he's a Christian and all that. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, he participates in motivational speaking, and that's pretty good for a guy like Cam Newton. He had that one fantastic season with Carolina and a crappy season with the Patriots. I know I'm salty, but I'm a Pats fan, damn it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.